well, here you clearly have an emotion that's coming out. Um, right. So I guess if I were seeing this and trying to figure out what voice I would put to it, right away I know it's excited, so it's going to be a higher version of whatever voice I pick. She seems, I don't know, I could guess that she's a teen. So I would probably put her, yes! Oh, I can't believe it! Oh! Around there. But if she were younger, this is so exciting! It's so exciting! Maybe higher. So, but it's hard for this, it's very definite. I don't think she would be going, maybe, which really plays against kind of how she wouldn't really be crying, you wouldn't think. But if she were, she might be counteracting that by trying to be excited, even though she was crying. It could be, in there. So you just have to figure it out. And I think too, when you're creating something, even at home, where you're doing a play with your friends, the main thing is to kind of figure, it's hard for me to be her without kind of getting there. Just because you all know Pokemon. For Ash, it was hard for him to, when he threw the ball, I had to throw the ball. Because it kind of gives that, your voice changes. Sorry, I'll do a Pokemon thing. Pokeball, go! It's here. But Pokeball, go! It goes forward. So it has a different thing to it. So I think all of us, you're fully engaged. When Misako is drawing this, she's in the character, and she's finding her way in it. When I'm voicing it, I'm finding my way in it. And I think that's probably one of the most important things.
Exactly, because sometimes when I draw, like sad moment or really depressing moment, I look at, I just set up a mirror in front of me. I mean, I don't like doing this, but I noticed like I was kind of making sad face when I was drawing this in, and it's kind of important to know that because I mean you can just copy someone's like whatever your favorite scene or something. That's okay for the practice, but if you're making a comic, you have to find your style, especially like this emotional scenes. Like it's kind of really important showing who you are. So you know what I mean? So like. I mean, my advice is like if you want to be artist, it's better for you to have so many different styles. Because this is my one of style, but I have so many other 5 different styles to just kind of show. It depends on generations and depends on gender, everything is different. So I always have to clarify too.
And as an actor, I think the more classes you take about acting, how to be in the moment so that the character can be emotional, can react. I spend a lot of time, like you, watching people, listening to conversations, and then sometimes I use it. Like sometimes I've had an audition, and there's a boy who goes to my daughter's school who he has the most adult voice for a young kid, and sometimes I think of him when I have an audition. Like, how would he say this? I can't name it. But like how would he do this? Because he fascinates me. So whenever I talk to him, I really listen to how his mouth goes, how he, is. And I think that all of that feeds into how I then portray other people. So, are there any other questions? Yeah.
There's a note where I do see you talk about is there any chance that you'll ever go back to playing Ash?
I would jump at the chance to play Ash again, but I have no. Thank you very much. The only thing is that I have no way to do that. If they were to come to me, I would certainly do it.
Did they offer you that role?
No one's offered me anything. No one. I just got fired when we all got fired. From the Pokemon before. We were all just told that we weren't moving on with the show. So again, they'd have to ask me. I'm sure they could find me if they wanted me. So, but yeah, there's no doubt I would love to do it. I know a lot of people have done a lot with Save Our Voice Actors and all of that, and I don't know. Business is business, so I'm not sure how or if they would even go back after such a long time. But hands down, I'd play it again. Yeah.
Did you ever mix up your voices? Like, did you ever do a take of Pokemon as, say, Amelia, or a take of Slayers as Ash?
No, absolutely not. Only because when I'm in there, I'm that character. So, and in anime, when you're doing ADR, we do one character at a time, like that. But I pretty much, I haven't done that.
Wanted to.
No, definitely not.
I was told that theater classes can help with voice acting. Specifically, what kind of theater classes?
Oh, in theater, your training trains you to go after your objective. You can't play emotion, but when you are playing the scene and working through on each line, you have an objective, what you're trying to get from the other person. You certainly, that comes into play when you're doing voice acting, because commercials, cartoons, anything that you're doing, you want something from the other person, from the listener, from the person in the scene with you. So acting classes in general, improv classes, they all help in just you becoming an actor.
Thank you.
Okay, so one more person.
I've always wondered, I know as actually a couple of your other characters, you've been able to do this, like, this yelly voice, like, whenever he's, like, scared or he's falling, it's like this, like, wah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always wondering, how do you do that without hurting your voice?
Well, Ash is probably the most vocally unhygienic. It's definitely that in my throat. I've taken a lot of vocal classes, voice classes, but I certainly have to be careful how I'm placing it and to try to really, it's hard to breathe because that voice is really just closed shut. But I don't know, sometimes just in the moment it just one more?
I guess you have one more, please.
I think most people remember me for Ash. It's certainly a character that's very close to my heart. So I don't know. Yeah, okay. Is there any other questions that we can answer about drawing and acting?
Well, I have two really quick questions. One, what's the hardest role you ever portrayed on a character? Like, are there characters that are just impossible for you to do?
I'm gonna say no. I can do anything.
Oh.
But no, I don't know. I just really try. I certainly don't get every role I audition for. So.
Yeah. Oh, and another, just really quick. For her,
Misako.
Misako, sorry. For drawing characters, how do you get inspiration to do the poses? Because when I draw, sometimes I just pretty much have a brainstorm practically, and I just cannot figure out what pose to do, so I'm not just making it design.
I see. Because to me, I can just draw, like just when I have an imagination in my head, I can just draw kind of anything. But if you have a hard time, what you can do is you can just use your friend, just like, as I said, like anybody on the park or like subway, you can use them as your partners. So you just sketch it all the time, and eventually you're going to be really good at it. Also, like you and your friend can do like exchanging kind of journal in a comic way, what I used to do, so like you can just practice more to make a comic. So like instead of writing, drawing and exchange and that kind of stuff too.
Do you ever use those those mannequin things to like pose those and draw that?
Never.
Oh, I've used them. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we have to finish up by now because they say like, there's a line behind.
Oh, thank you all
Okay,
so
thank
much
you
for
so